Hello everyone, happy Monday the 24th of November. Can you believe it? A month today will be Christmas Eve. As usual, I'm always a bit late to the party with recognizing that Christmas is almost here. But I guess I have to recognize that now. So I don't know how you feel about Christmas. I love Christmas, but not until about now. So I hope you're well anyway, whatever your thoughts on Christmas are. Right, so this week, so I'm coming in as usual with the energies of this week, the cosmic energies, me and my guides. To give you a heads up on what the energies are going to be like this week, what to expect, how you could maybe use the energies in your favor, that sort of thing. So, really, since the new moon last week, it's all about, and you'll hear this from others as well, it's all about setting your new timeline for next year. Because you are aware we've been in this universal year 9, and we still are, obviously, until the end of the year, but we're coming up to a universal year 1, which, means new beginnings. It's also going to be the Chinese year of the fire horse, I think. I think that's in February time. So, that's much different to the snake. It's talking about actions going forward. Fire energy is building. So I've been talking a hell of a lot this year about how we need to let go of things that are no longer in alignment with us, that are holding us back, that just don't feel right anymore. And that could be, as I've been saying, patterns of behavior, things you're telling yourself. It could be relationships, any sort of relationship that's not quite right in your life. It could be work situations, something in your business. It could be anything. Because 2026 would like us to sort of step into it. I was going to say like with a clean break, but I guess, old energies always hang around to a certain extent, and we learn from them, don't we? And we've been learning a lot this year. This year, and it's not finished yet, has been tough for lots of us. And generally, it's tough out there, isn't it? It's been horrific, really. So this week is more about, so we've been talking about you tuning in to what it is you want to create. How do you feel about things? You really use your intuition. This week is continuing that theme, but also, what can you now do to actually make things happen? And that doesn't mean you're going to do everything this week. What it means is you're going to start to form a plan. Some of you may have already formed one about the steps you need to take to get you to where you need to be. And some of those steps may well be that you can't get to where you need to be or where you want to be if you carry on as you are, right? So the skies are going to help with that this week, because there's some clarity coming in for us, like a real self-awareness, oh, why have I been behaving like that? Or why have I kept repeating that pattern? What's it showing me? That sort of thing. And you might even get a little bit annoyed with yourself like I do sometimes, as to why you've been going around in circles, or why you've been doing something the same way when it doesn't work. It could be that. And then it's a time to take responsibility for that, so how can you change things? There is this feeling of support from the galaxies, from the universe, from your guides, really wanting you to finally, understand what you need to do to create what you want in your life. There is that support there, but there is also this. So what I'm really feeling into this week, towards the end of the week, are endings. And even though there'll be endings that are beneficial to you in the long run because, excuse me, throat chakra going there. Even though they'll be beneficial to you in the long run, they might sting a little bit. And even though you've probably been kind of waiting for the endings to happen. And that could just be that you've realised something and you just know it has to end, or somebody else ends it, or a situation you're in just ends. Okay? And this is because the universe knows there are better things for you out there. So please try and trust into that if you're finding yourself in that position, because I've got this image of, like, you know, in the tarot you have the deck, the swords as one of the suits. Can't find my words. I'm feeling a couple of like those sword cards coming, so as if to say, you know, there's a little bit of a feeling of feeling tired, a bit sort of, oh, this, you know, maybe there's a pattern that keeps repeating itself in your life this week as well, or you're noticing it, you're more self-aware, and so you're a little bit frustrated, a little bit tired, because, you know, when we're in patterns that aren't working for us, and or in situations that aren't working for us, it drains us, right? So we feel tired. And then there's almost this exhale coming. I can see a lot of us not screaming, but like wanting to exhale, maybe even scream, because how have we not dealt with this before, maybe? Or why did we not see that coming? But maybe we did, but we've been pretending we haven't. But it's a good like release. It's not a you need to hang on to that. It's like a okay, it's like a, that's why I'm calling it more an exhale than a scream. It's like, ha, that's gone, that's done, I'm not doing that anymore. Okay, so there's that feeling coming in as well. Yeah, one of the notes I wrote, may feel you can't believe why you've kept doing what you know, when you have the realization, oh my God, I've been doing it this way, and really that didn't make sense because, you know, whatever, then you might go into, oh my God, why was I doing it that way when it clearly wasn't working? I hope that makes sense. So, yeah, interesting, isn't it? So and then of course this is the last week of November. So then we're moving into December. And for some of us, you know, we might think of January as a new start. Well, any month, any day can be a new start. But I actually feel for some of us December might be. So be aware of that as well. I feel like there's more expansive energies in December as well. So November's been very much going within, reflecting, reviewing. You know, we're still, well, by the end of the month we'll be out of Mercury retrograde, but of course we'll still be in the shadow period for a bit, but well, hopefully the worst of it will be over. So there's that been going on, but also it's a feeling of November's been very inner, you've been reflecting inwards. You know, we had the 11:11 portal, it's been very spiritual. Your spiritual practice has probably increased. You know, you've got more awareness. And then December is a little bit more, well, we're in the Sagittarius energy, aren't we, of course, as well. And that's, you know, that's more about being expansive and living from a place of joy and taking action. So this is kind of making sense as I'm talking to you. So I hope it makes sense for you that I'm also aware, you know, December can be a tricky month for lots of people. Christmas, whether you celebrate it or not, can bring up lots of different emotions. You know, maybe you haven't got loved ones with you anymore that were here last year, or, you know, for a few years before now. Maybe your situation has radically changed this year. Maybe you're in a situation which is really rubbish, and even though you know you want to get out of it, you feel stuck. And, you know, the holiday season can highlight that for us. I mean, hopefully there's joy in it as well, but sometimes there isn't. So I just want you to know, like, if you are stuck, if you are, you know, really wondering how to put your best foot forward, please reach out. I've got lots of ways I can help you. You know this. I know you know this. And let's see if we'll have a chat and we'll see. This is, and obviously this is not just my divorce and separation work. This is anything that you can be stuck in, which I know sounds very broad, but it's true, because I am able to help you move forward with my abilities and my gifts, using my guides as well, channeling them to help you. So, you might think, well, I've got to do so many other things now because it's the busy season, it's a silly season, but maybe it's a good time to check in on yourself as well. Yeah. Anyway, I'm just going to bring in my guides for the last few minutes, see what else they have to say about what's going on this week. Hello, it's a pleasure to be here. So Alwyn's really told you what's going on. It's all about being a bit more intentional this week, and some realizations coming in about maybe where you've been keeping yourself stuck, being responsible for that, and realizing that only you can make the changes that you require, that you need to enable you to move forward. Quite often humans blame others for being stuck or things not going their way, but often that's not the case. Often the others are a reflection of your own inner vibration not quite being in the right place. So having said that, don't be hard on yourself. The main thing is the realization that should be coming in for some of you, not all of you, but for some of you this week. Almost like light bulb moments coming in. 2026 is soon be upon you in your timeline, and it's going to be a different type of a year, much more energetic, much more having to go for things, or if you choose, of course, because you've always got a choice, and you can choose to stay as you are, and that might be fine if you're happy. You can choose to stay as you are if you're not happy, but what does that bring you really if you choose to stay where you're not happy, or in a situation or in a pattern of behavior which is making you miserable, right? So you have these choices, but obviously we want the best for you, as do your own guides and angels. So maybe it's time to start taking action, to start planting the seeds. And as Alwyn said, if you need that extra clarity, of course, we are here to help you through her. And of course, you've got your own guides and angels that you can tap into. But sometimes it's good to have someone else helping, isn't it? And there's nothing wrong with that. But for the most part this week, as we've said, and Alwyn said, is about realization, self-responsibility, making a plan, taking action. And as Alwyn said as well, there may well be some endings coming in this week, but please know that they are for your highest good, because the universe has something better in mind for you. All right. And then next week, of course, you'll be moving into December. Mercury's going direct on the 29th. So things should start to feel a little bit easier in many ways, especially if you're doing the work, if you are following the guidance, if you are taking those small steps each day to be in greater alignment with you and your soul's purpose. All right, so we'll just leave you with that, and we wish you a wonderful week. Okay, so I'll leave it there. I hope that's good. Hope it made sense. Let me know in the comments. And again, if you need any help, just reach out and we'll see what service I offer that can help you. All right, take care. Bye for now.